welcome to Behind the Music, the podcast. I go by Radio Rashid. And to, I guess, get a little bit of clarification, are we going with Katie? I know that we kind of transitioned with Blü Eyes and we're supporting that project. What is, I guess, we're going for these days? I like the Blü Eyes, and I kind of want to know.
That's kind of what I'm going for. But I'm not like, I will answer to Katie.
I hear no.
That is my name, so.
I hear you. How did you get the Blü Eyes?
Well, I was just thinking about like, I don't know. To be totally honest, I was like trying to think of names for, pseudonyms, and I just I could not come up with anything, and everything that I came up with that was good was already taken. So I just kind of stumbled upon the Blü Eyes thing because I was like, well, I want to be vulnerable with my music, and like the eyes are like the window to the soul or whatever that cheesy saying is.
I like it.
And I have Blü Eyes, and I don't know, it's simple. It's easy to remember. I think like blue has always been like an emotive color to me.
Yes.
And I feel like, my music kind of has a little bit of blue in all of it.
Yes, it's very dope. All right, that's how we're going to get started here. So what I do is I do host a podcast. I do things in 3, and I try to keep a chronological order going. So I have like notes everywhere, and I'll kind of like veer off so I don't get scattered brain. And I was doing a little research, and I saw, from the beginning, you were introduced to recording at 16. And it looked like that was a gift from your parents to get into the studio, just to kind of have some memory of you or just lying around.
Yeah, it was like my 16th birthday present / my mom wanted a recording of me singing so that she could just herself listen to it and be like, yay, that's my daughter.
Right.
And then I got into the studio and I was like, oh, this is a thing. This is really fun.
It's real.
And my parents are so supportive, and they saw how much I loved it, and they were just like, well, you got to keep at this. And so they've supported me through a lot of it, and I'm very grateful for that.
Nice.
But that kind of got my feet wet with recording in high school, and I would like on the weekends just like spend all weekend in the studio and in between applying to colleges and all that stuff.
Yes. And I did the same thing. I started to record when I was a teen, and I went to Stony Brook because I thought that I wanted to do some medicine. But then my sophomore year, I just went straight into music. Now, I saw that you went to USC.
I did, yeah.
Dope music program there.
Super program.
What you learned, I saw what you learned. If you could share with the audience some of the things that you learned while recording at USC, or just, while, and let me know if you got like a degree in music.
It was a Bachelor of Music, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, like, because I want to finish you with like an arts and science major in technology. It was
No. I was part of the music program. I was so fortunate.
Oh, dope. That's dope.
What didn't I learn there? I learned everything from how to lead a band to how to write a lead sheet to how to play the drums, kind of, or at least know what each drum is called. And I learned Pro Tools. I learned contract law. I learned, I don't know, just so much stuff. Arranging.
I saw one of the things that you learned was like some Clapton chords. You learned some riffs from the good old Big Mama.
Oh yeah,
some riffs from her, which is very dope. A lot of people,
that was like my first assignment was to sing this Big Mama Thornton song as a little white girl. Yeah, I was like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, I don't have soul anywhere in my body.
No, listen, you have it, because when I'm listening to the music, I feel it. And that's one of the things that I look for. Shout out, and I butcher names. Was it Zia? Zia. Okay. Shout out to her. Once I finally got to dig in to your music, from the first song, I felt it. And I was like, all right, something is going on here. And I have to reach out. And I like to do all genuine, authentic type of interviews. And
totally. I love it.
From the first song, I'm telling you, I was hooked. You have a beautiful voice, and you know what you're doing. I'm gonna let you know that. Yeah.
You saying I felt it, like that is all I want out of people listening. That's just like, that's so awesome.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Now, I know, of course, throughout USC, you built some relationships. And I know that you did a little bit of touring. So I was introduced with you being, of course, a singer, found out that you was a songwriter as well and producer, which is really dope. Mm-hmm. How long was the transition from getting out of college in USC? And then I saw that you did some work also with Honey County, which is a 3-girl band, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. What was that transition like from college? And I know how long was that between that you joining that group and touring?
Yeah. So I graduated in 2016, and then I started just kind of not really knowing what to do. I started just diving into writing. Right. And so I just wrote with whoever I could, whenever I could. And that's always been my passion, is just creating the music. And and in the meantime, I was, playing gigs here and there and like playing guitar for people at Hotel Cafe and stuff. And my friend from college, Devin, who now plays for Katy Perry as a guitar player, she's incredible. She was like, hey, I started playing some gigs with this band. Like, do you want to come and join? And I was like, sure. And so that was a really awesome chapter. That was like, let's see, a year? I can't remember. Maybe it was like a year of me kind of running around songwriting all the time, just doing my own thing before I joined the band. But yeah, joined the band and got my feet wet with some touring and kind of, navigated that whole thing. And then from there, just kind of, did a little turn, and I'm now focused back on my own stuff, which has been awesome. But I learned a lot being in that group, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity. And, it was a great chapter, but, I think it was like about a year out of college.
Okay.
I finally had something to kind of like sink my teeth into, because it was definitely right out of college. I mean, I feel like everybody goes through this, but nobody warns anybody about it.
Yeah. It needs to be a course. Like, when you leave college, expect this and just break it down as real as possible. Yeah.
Expect freshman at life anxiety when you graduate. And so I definitely had that happening. But as we do as humans, we power through and we figure it out. So it's definitely been like a journey, but everything that I've done and experienced has taught me something that's informed who I am and what I create now. And so I'm super grateful for everything.
Yes. And I know, like, under your belt, you're very experienced. And I saw that you started to, in USC, learn something called top lining. For the viewers who aren't into, I guess, music terms, you started to write to beats that were already made. And this is where I start to get a little nerdy, because I like to kind of dig in. And I know that you started to do some stuff with, I have here, Ducka Sean in 2017.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I probably did. That offlining period is like a big, massive blur.
And listen, the dance tracks that you were on, because once upon a time I did like some dance stuff, and it's really cool. Now I want to know how, first of all, what's 2020 Records? And I saw most of the dance projects are on Ava Records. I'm not too sure if you know how that plays into songwriting for different labels. If you could kind of explain that to us.
Well, first of all, 2020 Records is me.
Let's go. I love it. Let's go.
I just thought I wanted to play on, because I knew I was going to be releasing a lot of music in 2020. And I also, with Blü Eyes, 2020 vision. I don't know. I was like,
it's connecting.
Cool.
Yes.
But now after 2020 has happened, I'm like, maybe I should change that so that people aren't reminded of this awful year. But that's what 2020 Records is.
Okay.
But Ava is this trance label that I got connected with. I did a lot of stuff on Sound Better when I first graduated college. I don't know if you know Sound Better.
Yes.
But basically, for those of you who don't know, it's basically like kind of like Craigslist for musicians. Like if I want to hire somebody to play flute on my track, I can like go on SoundBetter and be like, flute on whatever.
Yeah.
And find somebody, and then they can be like, oh yeah, I charge this much, and like whatever. So I did a lot of that, but like top lining. So that was kind of like how I made money.
Gotcha.
And one of the people I connected with on SoundBetter was this guy Ben, who owns this or co-owns this record label Ava, and he's super awesome, super like, you know, big champion of mine, and like just so great to work with. So I did a lot of tracks through them, and just like with different artists of theirs. Very nice. And yeah, I think it just kind of like started to get like I started to realize like, oh, Ava, like, you know, has their shit together. Like, I'm going to work with them more.
Yeah.
Because some people reach out and then they like, it's really hard to reach them, whatever. But yeah, I started kind of like, you know, gathering my own artistic, I don't know what the word is. I wanted to make my own stuff. At a certain point, I wanted to like, you know, just really go for it. So, I started to transition from the top lining thing into like my own stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I wrote a lot of songs.
Yeah. And could we say over under, you have written over 100 songs?
Oh, like easily. I don't know.
That's amazing.
In my life, like probably, I don't know, probably closer to like 700, 800 at this point.
Wow.
But I've written a lot of bad songs though. So,
but listen, I'm glad that you're just putting that out there, because it lets the audience know how hard you have to work, even to just get some sort of exposure or recognition, to getting these songs cut. If you guys, I know I do have an audience where I still have a nice dance techno and trance following. You guys are interested, you guys can look up.
They know the trance world. They might know Ava.
Yeah, man. We got Lights Out, Up in Smoke. We have Not Ready with Ghost Beat. I challenge the audience, and I always like to give them homework to just look up Blü Eyes, kind of dive in, and a bunch of top lining records before we get to the more personal stuff on 2020 records. Now, during this pandemic, I'm a Libra. What sign are you?
I'm a Sagittarius.
A Sag. Now, I don't know if you believe in this, but this year has been very hard for creatives like myself to be consistent, to find motivation, to continue to just thrive. What are some of the things that keep you motivated, you know, just to leave the group and then to start on your own and to give yourself a new alias and just to get what's in here and what's in here out? Like, what is that motivation like doing everything that's happening now?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's kind of, I guess the motivation is when I'm in my studio, in the zone, building out a track for a song that I love, I am just flying. Like that is the greatest feeling for me. That is my favorite part of the process, is like hearing my ideas in my headphones coming together when like I finally find the right snare drum or something, whatever, and it just like all starts to click. That feeling is like definitely what motivates me to start the next one, because inevitably I start the next one and it sounds like shit, like it just sounds awful. But knowing that that's part of the process, and I just need to get to, you know, I just need to work on it a little bit more. That's kind of what keeps me. I'm just kind of chasing that feeling, I guess.
I got you.
Kind of weird, but yeah, I think, and also just like doing a kind of duty to my songs of, you know, when I have things that I've written that are good, I kind of have a responsibility to see them through, you know? And I guess when it comes to writing new stuff, that's where it's a little bit fuzzier, but I
hear you.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just that feeling when you're like in the zone, like creating something. Like there's just nothing like that for me. So I enjoy trying to get back there with every new song.
Now, I know even with the top lining, a lot of the times you do projects for people and you don't have control over the finished product.
Right.
with this album that, we can't wait for. You're hands-on and you do have the finished product ideas. Working to the stage, was there ever a time, I guess, where you give out your work and you wish you can get it back once you hear that finished product, working with other artists, working with other people? Have you kind of pushed through that?
No comment.
All right,
that is one of the things I love about being a producer and being an artist is like I have, like you said, like total final say in what I put out there, because like if I don't like the kick drum, I can go fix it, like because I can do that, or if I think my vocal is too harsh and like needs a de-esser or something on it, like I need to go do that. And so it's like I don't know. It's all in my hands. I played tennis in high school and I liked it for the same reason.
Gotcha.
If I screw up, it's my fault. I don't have to like create any like drama with team members or anything. It's like, it's all on me. If I mess up, it's my bad, but at least I know how I can improve and do better.
Nice. I'm telling you, you're a professional already with the interview questions. You're answering them very nicely. I'll just say,
your questions are great. Did some research, man. I did
a little bit of research. Now, what I want to do is I do want to kick off the first song. What I plan to do in between interview questions, we're going to play some tracks finally to get to the third track. The first track I definitely wanted to get into is Masterpiece. Masterpiece, just let me know a little bit about it, where it was recorded. I know a lot of people are recording in home studios, which I totally encourage right now. If you could let us know maybe if you have a favorite mic or software, where it was recorded, and maybe who wrote and produced Masterpiece.
Yeah, so Masterpiece, actually, I wrote it like 3 years ago. It was like in that phase after college where I was just like, send me your tracks, please. Anybody, I will write to them. And I was working with this producer, Colin Callahan, and he sent me a bunch of tracks that he's just like, he's a track machine.
Right.
So he sent me a bunch of tracks, and that when we were pitching for some pop artist, I don't remember who it was, maybe like Maggie Lindemann or something like that. And we were just trying to like pitch songs to her A&R. And so, and they were saying like something kind of dark, like Lana Del Rey kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And so I wrote Masterpiece to that track. And then the A&R person was like, yeah, it's good, but like not right for the project, whatever. And I was like, I really like this song. Like I really like it. And so I had planned to put it out for a long time, and I wanted to just kind of perfect it. So I brought in, this is before I was a producer, by the way.
Gotcha.
This is before I had like the ideas, but I didn't know how to like go into Logic and like fix it.
Yes.
And so I brought in my friend Jeff Harris, who's an awesome producer in LA. And he kind of helped finish it out and just like finessed it. And did a great mix on it. And then it finally was ready to go. And we put it out this year. Yeah, as far as your gear question though, I have a Neumann TLM 103 mic. I also have this little Shure thing that I'm talking into.
Yes. Great mic as well.
This is my writing mic. This is like, I write all of my songs on this mic.
I like the warmness of the Shure.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very nice.
Very dope. Yeah, I like the Neumann. I mean, it's the only mic that I've ever really had. So
okay.
I don't know. I mean, like I've tried some other stuff, but like that one's definitely been like the one that kind of
that mic. It's a beautiful mic.
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
Yeah.
And I also just recently got one of these 6176 preamp compressor things.
Oh,
Blü Eyes. Yeah, I wish I could like flip my camera on my computer.
No, what I'll do is I'll insert it in right there. I'll put it in. Because I love learning about like what equipment you're using and favorite mics, and you have the preamp. Dope.
Yeah, no, that's it's definitely made a big difference. It brings a lot of that like warmth to the Neumann. And then I just have an Apollo. But yeah, Masterpiece was just recorded. It was all home recording.
Yeah.
But it was just like on our different little setups. So I recorded the vocals here in my studio, probably in my closet over there.
Yeah.
I think we tracked a few things at Jeff's place on his mic. I don't know what mic he has though.
Okay.
I can't remember, but
no, it came out phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. I am really proud of how it came out.
Yeah, the build up, the late drums that comes in a little later. It is you get to be anything you want. You get to kind of create your masterpiece. It has like a sensuality to it.
Yes, definitely. We were definitely thinking like it could have gone in one of those 50 Shades of Grey movies, but
yeah, for sure.
The series ended, so
listen, get it picked up. Yeah, get it picked up for another show.
Yeah.
All right, masterpiece. So that's the first song we're gonna play. We'll let the audience experience what we feel when we hear it. Let's play Masterpiece, and if you guys can, definitely download and stream that single from Blü Eyes. So let's get Masterpiece on.
Don't know how you do it, but baby, please don't stop. You got me feeling everything that I got. Touch all the edges and trace me like a coloring book. You be my sculptor, mold me into something beautiful. Wake up my skin with your lips every morning. The spark on your kiss lights me up with no warning. I know I just can't let you go. Let me be your work of art. Paint me any way you want, any way you want. I'll be your greatest symphony that brings you right down to your knees. Won't you let me be? Let me be your masterpiece, masterpiece, masterpiece. Oh, you be my Da Vinci, I'll be your Mona Lisa. Eyes on your body, no, 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 they'll never leave you. You be the music, and baby, I can be your muse. I'm your creation, to make me anything you choose. Wake up my skin with your lips every morning. The spark on your kiss lights me up with no warning. I know, just can't let you go. Let me be your work of art. Paint me any way you want, any way you want. Be your greatest symphony that brings you right down to your knees. Won't you let me be? Let me be your masterpiece. Oh,
All right, you are tuning in to Behind the Music, the podcast of Radio Rashid. We still have Blü Eyes here with us, who's generous to give us some of her time. And you just heard Masterpiece, which is an amazing song written 3 years ago. which is kind of cool that you held on to it. I think you knew that was going to be a masterpiece. It was definitely an amazing song. Now, the next song that I want to play for you guys is Blessing. Now, this one I'm a little confused about.
Okay.
This one on Apple Music, actually the lyrics came up, so I was able to read along as I was listening to it. And at the end of it, I asked myself, is it a blessing? Is the person that, you know, she's in a relationship with, if she is speaking to herself saying, you must think that this was a blessing, with all encounter with us? Or literally, did you feel that it was a blessing really being in relationship, whether that was intimate or not? If you care to kind of divulge into the lyrics a little bit.
It has like it's like double-sided. So the first 80% of the song is this very kind of sad tinged, it gets angsty later.
Yeah.
But the idea was that like, I mean, I've experienced a couple of different toxic relationships in my life, and that this song is definitely touching on that. But it's just about the idea that like when you're in something toxic like that, the other person can be mistreating you so badly, but at the same time making you feel like it's like your honor to be mistreated by them.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes total sense.
But yeah, like, so that lyric, I let you possess me like it was a blessing, is like, just that is like, this person was totally dominating and controlling your life in a really negative way.
Yeah.
But you felt this like higher honor or like duty almost to be in that position for them. Which is obviously so the song is kind of like looking back on that and being like, wow, that was really messed up.
Right.
That was not okay. But then at the end, the outro that we added at the end, does kind of resolve to be like, you know what, in the end, it was a blessing that I was tossed around so much like that by you, because it taught me about myself, and it taught me how to trust people differently and how to know where to put my energy. And I grew because of this experience. So in the end, it was a blessing after all. So it kind of has both meanings.
Now, one of the lyrics that stood out, of course, one you recited, and I guess you adored, you like a deity. And I was like, wow, a deity, yes.
Yeah.
I was, going, of course, back to Master P, kind of like to view you as a god, or should I think of you as a god or a goddess? Right. I started to make a little connection. So it's like,
I like that. I hadn't put it together, but
I'm telling you.
I like it.
So I'm like, of course, we can try to be in this relationship. And at first, we all bring our representatives and even want to submit and just become a person for that person. I'll be whatever you want.
Exactly.
Masterpiece. And then the blessing, not everything goes well. So I'm going to count this relationship that it ended as a blessing, good, bad, all things to come. And then the last song I'm going to play, we'll see how it tied up into this little mental of mine. So before I kick off Blessing, as far as production goes, I love the vocoder effect that's underneath it. The ideas for the vocoding, the production, how did that come about with Blessing? Yeah,
so the lead producer on this, and like the genius behind all the really quirky bleeps and boops and and stuff, is my incredibly talented friend Casey Kolb, who is a film composer, and he just has this different perspective on like production because of where he comes from with it. And he just has like this, I don't know, he just reaches for these really quirky, just different stuff. So we started the track together in the room before coronavirus. And he just like came up with those chords, and he's like a chord genius too. But yeah, he came up with those chords, laid them down, and then I had to go or something. So I came home, I sat with this mic in front of my computer like this, and just like listened to the chords and kind of sketched out the top line.
Nice.
And then I was like, oh, it's like too pretty. Like this is like a really sad thing. And like my voice sounds like this is like la la la.
Right.
Just like added this really janky vocoder on it and like put distortion on it.
Yeah.
Like just made it sound like this like weird kind of like choir ghost like robot thing.
Yeah. And it worked, like with the wordings that you're using and throughout the song, and especially toward the end when you feel the build up, it is like almost cathedral like a choir.
And we so like I brought that back to Casey and he was like, oh, this is great, like let's lean into like the choir like cathedral thing, like let's make it sound like a church. And so that's when he in the chorus, when it goes the adored you like a deity, and then it's like
no, I get it.
That's a terrible little soundbite, but that he like took a snippet of the vocoder and then like printed it and then reversed it and put a bunch of reverb on it and like got it in just the right spot, and it was just like it's like this choir answering in like an alien language to the line, and so
it worked.
It was really fun. He's one of my best friends at this point. And he's just like, he loves tinkering around with stuff like that. So,
very nice.
But we kind of worked on it together a little bit.
That's a beautiful track. And that is the next track we're definitely going to play for you guys. This is Blessing, another single from Blü Eyes. I'm hoping that I'm almost certain this is going to make the cut of a future album. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is definitely on a cut. So let's check it out. This is Blessing, and definitely download and stream this song, guys. It is amazing. So let's check out Blessing.
I don't think about you anymore. I don't ever say your name. In my mind I thought I shut the door. Then tonight something changed. Just one trigger, I was right there with you. Just one picture, I went right back to it. Cold as silver when I get to thinking the way it was. I told you like a deity. I swore you meant the best for me. All the promises I tried to keep, let me try. 'Cause I let you possess me like it was a blessing. It was a blessing. I followed you down all your twisted roads. I never gave it any thought. I placed my loyalty just like an oath. I carried your demons like a cross. And just one trigger, I was right there with you. Just one picture. I told you like a deity. I swore you meant the best for me. All the promises I tried to keep, let me try. 'Cause I let you possess me like it was a blessing. It was a blessing. Like 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 it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
All right. So welcome back, guys, to Behind the Music, the podcast, Radio Rashid. We have Blü Eyes here. We just played Blessing, another amazing track from new album, soon to be dropping soon from Blü Eyes. And we are down to our final song. And of course, the final song is Just Life. So I was talking earlier about making a connection to the songs that I picked after looking at your discography. And I liked Masterpiece, and then I liked Blessing. And I thought of it in terms of relationship, because one thing about music is you can kind of use it for whatever situation you're going in, or in, and or going through. And to me, Just Life spoke to me. You know, the audience knows that, again, I'll speak about it. There's been gaps in my work and emotionally, even dealing with depression, this and that. But I never saw the good in sadness. I never saw the good in being down. And as I said, when I was sent the Just Life song, at that moment, the universe kind of connected and it made sense. It is just life. It's exactly what the song title is. You gotta have to roll with the punches. And, you know, you smiled yesterday and you have to make a decision to smile again. And I like the 3 songs because it's like a masterpiece relationship. I'll be what you want. You know, you wanted me to, I thought it was a blessing, and it is a blessing because I've learned so much from the relationship. And then at the end of the day, it is just life, and you have to keep moving. And whether it's a relationship, a job, music, whatever it is, Just Life, I think will speak to you as it did to me. So for Just Life, how did this one come about? Is it one of the newer songs that you wrote as far as, and then also if you can give us a little bit of information on production as well?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, that's really touching. That's so awesome that you say that. And it's interesting that you bring up finding the beauty in sadness, because like that is everything that my project right now is uncovering that beauty. Because I've always I've always had this fascination with when I'm crying, like, why does it feel so good? You know, like, why is it so cathartic to cry sometimes, you know, not all the time, obviously. And just like, you know, life it's not supposed to be happy all the time. It's not supposed to be perfect, because then it wouldn't be fun. Like there would be nothing to overcome. There would be no celebration of like overcoming challenges and all that. So thank you for saying that. That's really cool that you experienced that with the song. But yeah, I wrote the song with my really good friends, Johnny Shore and Haley Joelle. Okay. And they're both just amazing people. Johnny's also a producer, and he's the main producer on this song. Again, there are other songs that I've done that I've kind of led the production on, but you happened to pick the 3 that I had these really amazing people working on them. Yeah, Johnny and Haley and I got together one day, and this was about a year ago, so it was kind of a little bit before I had decided to make an album and was like, you know, diving into my project more. So we showed up, and it wasn't really necessarily supposed to be, this is for the Blü Eyes album, you know. It was just let's write a great song. And so Johnny started playing those chords, and I was like, wow, it's really pretty. I don't know what kind of synth sound you just pulled up, and Johnny's like, oh yeah, it's just like a simple like, I'm like, okay. I'm pretty sure he said it's like just a sine wave, and I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, so then we started talking about concepts, and he brought up the idea of like, that's just life, like, you know, whatever that means. And then Haley and I kind of started talking about, oh, like, what if it's kind of this idea of writing a letter to your younger self, like, or like the version of you that's like in a really tough spot right now, or at that moment. Like, what would you say to yourself to kind of like talk you off a ledge in a way?
One of the lyrics, you know, if you can go up to that person or kind of paraphrase where you could kind of pull them.
Yeah, if I could go up to the person I was back then.
Yes.
It's very, simple. But we started talking about that idea, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I love that idea. And so, we just started writing it. And we wrote the song. We left the studio. I was like, that was a great song, but I wasn't like, this is my baby or anything.
Right.
Like I wasn't like, that is my song.
Right.
And we just had a simple, like, we just had the main synth part down. But then Johnny the next day, like, sketched out the demo with like the arrangement with all the guitars and the ukes and stuff that we had tracked, and like added the piano and stuff at the end. And I was just like, oh, this is so beautiful.
That's so good.
I just remember being in my kitchen, like doing the dishes or something, and listening to it on my Bluetooth speaker and being like, holy shit, that is so good. It's like making me emotional listening to it. And that's kind of when I knew, like, okay, I think I have to put this out for myself.
Got one. You got one there.
Yeah. So, and then I wanted to tweak some lyrics. So I wanted to, because when we had written it, it wasn't supposed to be like for me. So I kind of wanted to make it more personal.
Yes.
So we rewrote the second verse, like about 8 times before it was something I liked.
So that's okay to do. You could edit and edit and edit. That is okay to do.
100%. I'm a big believer in editing now. I was not at all about rewriting when I first started writing, but now I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, and then so we kind of went back and forth tweaking lyrics, and then quarantine happened, and then Johnny and I kind of on FaceTime finished up the production. I tracked a few little guitar things, sent them to him, and he sent a few little synth things to me, and then I tracked the vocals, added parts, whatever. And we finished it all up, and that's kind of how that one happened.
Nice.
But yeah, I think we wrote it about a year ago, so
okay.
It's not quite as long of a journey. But.
Yes. Now, I do follow your page now, which is great. And I know you finally recorded the final lyrics to your album. So super excited to hear that. And genuinely speaking, you're doing something amazing.
Thank you so much.
Positive. I believe things are meant to be. The music is incredible. So we're definitely, of course. And so we're definitely going to get on Just Life, but other music you guys could definitely hear. Not really honorable mentions because they're just as good, but my podcast, man, sometimes I have 2-hour podcasts and I've learned to kind of make them shorter. So I'm definitely giving you guys homework to check out the rest of the music, but some days Blame. I went back, saw Friendly Fire.
That's an old one. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I love your voice.
Thank you.
You have a great ear, especially for the final product of what we're listening and feeling. So definitely good luck to you and your journey. But before we let you go, could you give us your handles, maybe if you have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, where we could find you?
Yeah. Pretty much on everything except Twitter, I am Blü Eyes Music, and it's BLUEYES Music. So it's just one. There's no E on the end of blue.
Yes.
BLU Eyes Music.
We'll put that somewhere here for everyone.
Yeah. But I just joined TikTok like a few days ago, so I'm
telling you, TikTok, watch your streams go. I'm hearing TikTok has been doing things for artists.
Yeah, it's
out of this world.
It's pretty insane. So yeah, I mean, I have like 7 followers on there, like from joining like yesterday, and I already have like a few hundred views on a video. I'm like, who's seeing this? Like,
it's amazing what TikTok is doing.
Yeah. So I'll hopefully be posting on there more, but Instagram, Twitter, I think I am Blü Eyes Music, but I'm never on Twitter.
Gotcha.
And Facebook, I'm there because my mom likes to make sure that I inform her and her friends about what's going on.
Facebook is still huge. We still use Facebook.
Yeah, great. And I think that's all. That was the only thing you asked me, right? For my handles?
Yeah, just for your handles. Yes, of course.
But yeah, check me out on Spotify. Follow me on Spotify. That'd be awesome, because that's super helpful for independent artists. I don't know if you guys out there listening know, but like following artists on Spotify is huge for boosting the algorithm and getting streams kind of off and running. So follow your favorite artists on
Spotify. Yes. And it's going to be, of course, Blü Eyes on Spotify. For you
I don't know.
Without the E.
There's like a link somewhere, but it's long and has a bunch of weird characters.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, great. We're doing this 2020 Records. Congratulations on the label. Congratulations on the album. We're going to be checking for the album. Continue to bless us with your music. We're definitely giving you blessings to keep going with what you're giving us, because we feel it. So you're doing the right thing. Your choices have been right thus far.
Thank you.
So to let you know.
What's the Enneagram personality type that's like, I just want to do the right thing? Like, that's me. Yes.
No, you are. Like, I feel it. I definitely feel it. You're doing an excellent job. I'm glad that, Blü Eyes is out of, I guess, the shadows, and you're giving us.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Out of the shadow.
Yeah. So please continue to do your thing. Thank you for giving us your time today. We definitely
thank you so much for having me. Seriously, this is so great.
No problem. I am motivated. So I will have the SoundCloud out for you guys shortly, and YouTube, man, I'm self-taught with the YouTube thing, so you just got to give me a couple weeks with that. But definitely we're going to have the SoundCloud podcast link out definitely soon. Again, thank you so much, Blü Eyes, for having the time with us today.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all. Have a good one. Let's get on Just Life as we exit out. Again, follow Instagram, Spotify. I'm going to get on Spotify. That's a nice tidbit that you
Apple Music is great too. I mean, Apple Music is awesome.
And listen, I only did Apple because I have a part-time gig at Apple, so it was kind of like the easy transition for me. Absolutely. But I have been hearing about Spotify, especially for independent artists. Mm-hmm. And I'm all in about independent artists. So
there are positives for both. I mean, Apple Music does pay more, so there's that.
Yeah.
But Spotify's like the hype energy,
Yes. So, yeah, we're going to get on Spotify for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you again for your time. We're about to check out Just Life, amazing single. Hopefully we can get the streams up and get the awareness out about Blü Eyes. So thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks.
I turned away, couldn't watch as he left my place. In the way it left me feeling, couldn't see me ever healing. The salty taste of the tears running down my face. In the moment I thought it would be forever, I didn't know better. Wish I could go up to the person I was back then. I'd reach out my hand and I'd tell them it'll be okay, okay. This is what I'd say. There'll be nights you wanna punch the wall, spend them crying in a bathroom stall, 'cause somebody let you down. I bet it hurts right now, but you just gotta pick yourself back up. Even when you're giving way too much, you might get no reason why, but that's just life. That's just life. It's hard to say when I first saw that my friends changed. For a while I tried to fix them, but finally I just had to quit them. When I lost them I feel like I knew I was losing